Welcome to the RePsychled podcast, where we discuss everyday issues from a mental health perspective. We are your hosts, Dr. Rashonda Strickland,
Dr. LaFanya Jones-Hines,
and Dr. Nichelle Wall. Now, don't get it twisted. We're not going to be your stereotypical therapist.
What we will be is informative, down to earth, a little spicy, and vulnerable.
All right, interns, turn up your volume, grab your pen and paper. It's supervision time. As a reminder, this podcast is not meant to take the place of a relationship with a licensed mental health professional.
Welcome back to session 128. Let's talk about sex,
Baby.
Today's mood music is brought to you by Salt and Peppers here. And Spinderella, you know, we got to add her. Let's talk about sex. And then because the queen, Beyonce, you know, dropped her official remix to Cuff It, we also going to add that on in there as well. And because you know how we do when we have a live, we like to have little sponsors here and there. So our first sponsor of today's session is Latier Home Collection. This is a Black-owned company. They are based out of Waxahachie, Texas. And she is in the medical field. She offers a variety of different products like candles, also what is it called? Body products. So please check her out. And as a reminder, we will be selecting a couple of people based off of comments to receive products from the sponsors that we have today. Our second sponsor is Humbled Beast. That is put on by Harris Enterprises, Humbled Excellence, whichever name they want to go by. And they offer different types of sweatshirts and hoodies and things of that nature. I have a little bit of a vested interest because it's my sister and brother-in-law's brand. But they are a Christian family, Christian company, and they have great products, and you will receive a sweatshirt. So welcome to the podcast, y'all. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey. Everybody knows that I have two favorite types of sessions that we do. So for y'all that are new, one of my favorite absolutes is movie mental breakdown. So the OGs already know this. And then this is my second favorite because I love that we get to like just be ourselves and not feel so stuffy, and we get to talk about stuff that we don't get to always talk about on the regular session. So I love these.
And for our TikTok family that is joining us, just remember for Dr. Jones-Hines TikTok as well as Dr. Wall myself TikTok, we cannot see the comments that y'all are posting, but we do appreciate the hearts, the loves, and all that good stuff that y'all are sending our way. Dr. Strickland will be reading any comments that we get from the RePsychled podcast, TikTok, and everything else. I'm a handle.
So we did get one comment. Somebody asked if this was Zamunda.
It's Black History Month.
Like, it ain't Zamunda, but it's definitely giving Black history.
Yes.
So if you want to call it Zamunda, I mean, that works for me too. I mean, she ended up being a princess at the end, so I'll take it.
And we appreciate you acknowledging the attire.
Yeah, so we always dress up for our lives in some type of fashion. And we felt like because it is Black History Month, now we were supposed to do this on the 1st, but the ice apocalypse came to Texas and interfered with that. So we still going to show up and, you know, be proud of being part of the diaspora that we are in. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So Dr. Jones-Hines, you want to let them know what we're going to be discussing? We gave them a little taste, but
well, we going to be talking about sexy things. We grown and sexy over here.
Yes, we are.
That's what we're going to be doing. So get you some libations, get you some popcorn if you want some.
Not popcorn.
and come on in these chats, like, share, and comment. Give us some conversation. Come on, Black Excellence. Yes. Y'all noticed it.
So this is going to be a little bit different than ones that y'all have seen before, because we really want to just open the door up to y'all as well this
Right.
time.
Mhm.
So because you know you don't always get an opportunity to ask mental health professionals questions, and we just go off the cuff, just give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Mhm.
you have any, sexual health, relationship, love related questions about arguing, getting along, all that stuff. Like again, you don't get this kind of access regularly
For
unless you
free.
go into therapy
For free.
for free.
And you
Add
have
that part for
a
free.
certified sex therapist, so y'all need to be asking the sassy questions.
I couldn't flick my hair because it's curly, but y'all knew what I was doing.
Mhm.
All right, so let's see. We got some questions. Trish, what's the question? What's our
She
first
ain't got no
Trish?
question. Well, I want to open up with this.
You talking about she ain't got no question?
Not yet. She ain't
No.
posted one yet. She ain't
Oh.
posted one yet. So I want to open up with this. Communicating about sexual intimacy. I think that is something that the Black and brown communities especially have struggled with for a really long time. We're not going to get into the history of why we have struggled with that for a really long time right now. But what is y'all's perception of that, dealing with clients, even in your own personal lives, being able to have the courage to talk about what you like and don't like sexually?
So we said this on one of the sessions that's coming up.
Mhm.
There's a lot of shame.
Yeah.
There's so much shame surrounding anything and pretty much everything related to
Sex.
And it's hard to have those conversations with a person, because if I am unsure if the things that I want or that I like are taboo,
Mm.
or if I grew up in a family where it was, you don't talk about it, you don't think about it, don't breathe it, don't smell it,
Breathe it.
like nothing.
Mean.
So then, I don't even know if I have the words to even, if I have the desire to talk about it, I may not even have the words
Yeah.
to put together to have a conversation about stuff like that.
And I think the other piece to that is us who grew up in the church. We are shunned from thinking about, fornication. Obviously that means sex before marriage. And even to ask about that area down there, it's like, well, what you want to know that for? What you plan on doing with it? I mean, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
get shamed for asking questions. And so I think we hold on to that shame and that embarrassment of even being able to ask.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I see professionally with my clients, as well as different relationships that I've had, is the willful ignorance. It's
Yes.
like, well, I did this with the last person, so this gonna work with this person. I'm like, ain't nobody trying to have cookie cutter sex.
Right.
Yes.
Like, don't do me like you did her.
Right.
Do me different.
Yep.
Please.
Please, por favor. You know?
Thank you.
So there is an importance in understanding that you have to know anatomy. You need to know its function. You need to know touch. You need to know temperature. There's more to intimacy than just inserting A into B.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
kissing this or kissing that. Like,
Yep.
there is I want my clients to have experiences.
Yeah.
Not just, I had sex.
Well, I think you said something really important. Like, first and foremost is know anatomy. A lot of us get taught names for anatomy that don't, that's not what it is.
Mhm.
It has a cutesy, something that our
Cookie.
it has all of these little names
Yeah.
that when you're younger, it seems like it's okay to use, but again, it doesn't teach you how to communicate about this stuff effectively.
And
Yeah.
that's why things can be going on with your children and you don't even know what's going on because you've not told them the correct verbiage for their body parts. And so you just thinking a cookie. Oh, you want a cookie? I mean,
I'm talking about something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's an importance. You can use the slang. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's also an importance of educating people on, or your children especially, on what the specific body parts are. So if I have a son and he comes in here saying, "Hey, my tenor hurt, and I'm be like, okay, are you talking about you singing? Like, what are we talking
Right.
about? No, if he comes in and then says, no, it's my penis, or it's the shaft of my penis, or it's this part, like knowing that information is going to empower them with their own body instead of it being something so taboo, something so foreign. And because we've shied away from it so long, we be tripping sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's like, don't touch that, don't talk about that. That's that baby body.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as they not hurting themselves, as long as they not hurting nobody else or being inappropriate
Absolutely.
with anybody else, let that child do what they want to do.
Yep.
Yeah, because it also hinders you when you grow up and you go to like the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only do we have shame around like sexual with our partner, even in a medical sense.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, think about for all the like, you know, female identifying people, or when you go to the OB and you try to stuff your underwear.
panties.
They
know you got panties on.
and like
You try to
like,
fold them and put
look,
them under your
I know
clothes.
we've all seen the little skits where where they act like doctors, like, where they at? Where they at?
Or if you go get a massage and you are a person that likes to take everything off, like
Yeah.
you be like, let me hide it from.
Right.
They are not
Why?
worried about your draws
at
Or
all.
your bra.
or
At all.
anything. They like, please just get under the table so I can rub your body the way it need to be rubbed
Right.
and help you be okay.
Mhm. Again,
That is
it's
hilarious.
stuff gets in our head and we have these ideas and these beliefs about our bodies, what our bodies should look like, what they're supposed to do, and that other people are not supposed to see or experience certain
Yeah.
parts of us. So then it's like, wait a minute. I got it's this a little snag. Oh, this bra don't have but just one wire in there. And I don't want you to see that this bra only got one wire in it. And it's like, but that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
they're not made to last forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can't
I can't with the wire. The one wire. Really,
girl,
friend?
look, if you wear bras and you wash them and you wear them long enough, you're gonna all of a sudden be sitting and all of like, what in the world is that poking me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do a little double check, and all of a sudden it's gonna be like, hello.
Mhm. Tear your whole breast off.
All of that.
And this goes along with men as well, being worried about stuff, not knowing how to properly, wash their body. If you are an uncircumcised gentleman and you don't know how to pull things back and properly scrub things, and like this is not just a female related thing, this is also a male related thing, and I'm saying that in the general of biological. Even people who have had sex reassignment, you need to know how to properly work on these things. If you don't, your quality of life actually can be impacted. You can
Severely.
end up having something that turns into a full-blown disease that creates a certain level of trauma in the body. Like, it's a lot, y'all. And walking around with that willful ignorance that I was talking about is not helping anybody do anything.
Right. Right.
Making a lot of angry people.
Yeah. Because what we fail to realize is, hey Dante, what we fail to realize is that
Buddy.
Squirrel. That's what's going on with them today.
But what we fail to realize is that all of us have a whole body with the same parts, and we all know that there are things that we have to do to take care of our bodies. We just, the shame behind taking care of our bodies is massive.
Yeah.
Like we should not, I don't know. Ooh, Lord, that's ridiculous. We shame to take care of our own body. Like this how my body, this how I'm gonna live.
Shame and fear.
Yeah.
Because there's a
Fear.
level of fear,
Yeah,
when you think
absolutely.
about going to the doctor, when you think about trying new things and being intimate with a partner. No, or that's nasty. First of all,
That's nasty.
if it's consensual and y'all gonna work through it, then that's what we gonna do. We gonna work through it. We gonna figure out what each of us like so that we can both, or however many is in your relationship, enjoy the situation. Like, I think there is a lack of willingness to be vulnerable in intimacy. People wanted to look how Nia Long's and Lorenz Tate looked.
Look, they have a whole production crew.
Yes.
Telling
that
them how to move, where to
crafted-
put their leg, where to
Yes.
put their arm, how to kiss. How to hold your head.
We get the cuts, like we get the non-rough draft of things. And so if that is your goal, that's cool if you want that to be your goal, but that's gonna take a lot of practice.
And it's gonna take conversation.
Yes.
You got to, regardless of whether or not you wanted to look like Nia Long and Lorenz on Love Jones, you still got to have a conversation. And so how do we have that conversation, Dr. Wall?
Well, that was a great segue.
Well, first of all, you don't have to know what you want. You're going to have to know what you like, because if you don't know with self, there's no way that you're going to be able to communicate that with anybody. There is a level of, let me say this correctly. In a lot of people that I see professionally, there's a level of, you do it for me. A lot of passiveness. And I'm not talking about submissiveness. That's a different conversation for a different live. There's a level of passiveness, and my partner should know what to do to me. Girl, dude, you don't know what to do with you. So how are they going to understand that?
That part, the fear about self-exploration.
Yes. Solo sex is important. And it is necessary. Even if you are a person that does not, solo sex is masturbation. Even if you are someone who does not prefer it to being partnered or having partnered sex, you still need to know what types of touches, what types of you need to know what it needs to feel like for you, because the directives need to come from your body and from your mouth. Like verbal.
And you're gonna have to do that multiple times, because as we age, you don't want the same sex you had when you was 21 years old. Like, because you're not gonna be smacking it and flipping it and rubbing it down.
I gotta go to work tomorrow, and my knees hurt because this arthritis is starting.
Yeah, and speaking on that, if you are somebody who loves, a little bit wilder intimacy, y'all also need to have some cues. Right. Like, don't flip me into the headboard, then I got a concussion and now I'm on TLC's sex sent me to the ER.
Right.
Like 1, 2, 3 flip or something. Like, let's talk about that.
1,000 ways to die. Yes, you have to have those conversations.
Exactly. No, go ahead.
You have to have those conversations multiple times. It's not just when we started dating, we had that conversation. No. You have to have that conversation at the beginning and multiple times when she's pregnant, after y'all have children. Like, you have not the headboard. Yes, the headboard. You got to have those conversations multiple times.
It's necessary.
And it's okay to take those conversations slowly.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't need to be a 5-hour long conversation, because if you're not used to having those types of discussions and being very open and vulnerable with another person, it's going to be very anxiety producing, nerve wracking. So it is going to be hard to just power through a conversation like that, especially if you've not taken the time to really think about what you find desirable. Because what you find desirable and what you find arousing may not be one and the same. What you may be curious about, but what you actually like, again, those are not going to be one and the same.
And I'll actually add one too, is what makes you climax. It's not going to be the same either.
Or the same every time.
That's right. Because as I can only speak for women, because I'm a woman. For women, we like certain things at different times. It could be the fact that you wash the dishes that get me ready, and like, yes, I'm thinking about you washing them dishes and you got me there. I'm good.
Like, yes.
In multiple ways.
Yeah, because sex is multi-dimensional, multi-level, multifaceted. Like, it's not just about the body. It's about the emotions. It's about the mind. And if you're saying, oh, that's too much, then you're just a lazy lover, and you need to find an equally lazy lover. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't be over here getting somebody that wants to have the full experience and you just want her to roll over and lift a leg up. Because either way is fine. But you need to be communicating and on the same page as the other person.
Absolutely.
And it can vary. It ain't got to be the same every time either.
And don't be afraid to teach each other.
And learn.
And learn.
Because this one, you got to be teachable.
Amen.
Yes. Because like Dr. Wall was saying earlier, what your past person, whatever, liked may not be what your current person like or want. So
Yeah.
you, and even if they do want it, it don't mean that they want it the same way. So you definitely have to make sure you know what each other like. But again, only way you're gonna know that is if you know for yourself, because you can't communicate something you don't know on your own.
Yeah. I concur. I concur.
Again, a bunch of angry folks walking around.
Yeah.
Y'all mighty quiet. Y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all been had questions by now.
They excited because we doing this sex live. That's what it is. They
I'm
like,
we was getting some on here, but now it just kind of slowed down a little bit.
y'all usually be real
Oh,
active.
okay. So Thiesman from Facebook says, speaking for the people in the back of the room, where are these mature individuals you are speaking of? LOL. They in Wakanda forever.
Okay. Or Zamunda.
Okay.
Trish Gale says, I'm just here quietly representing the brats. You're correct. You better know what you identify as.
Explain to the people what brats are.
Okay, so for people who are not in the BDSM world or lifestyle, brats is a form of a submissive, and it sounds exactly like what it is. It is the people that push up against the authority. They gonna put you through the ringer. They want to be the bad girl or boy so that you can punish them a little bit, and then they get the reward or the punishment. So yes.
Hello, my sister.
So Thiesman, go back to your question. Where are these mature individuals? Well, it has to start with you. If you show maturity in your relationship, then that person can then begin to feel comfortable talking to you about what they want, what they like, what they need. So you started off.
You are the mature person that we speak of.
Yes. And Thiesman did let us know that he is Team Switch and Brat. Okay. Yes, you can be multiple. Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. If you have not taken the BDSM quiz, please go take the BDSM quiz so you can learn all of your things.
Fetishes and kinks. I believe it is bdsmtest.org if I'm not mistaken, and I'll try to remember to link it.
It's for the free
this
too.
one.
Which we have a session on it, and I think
we
put
do
it in there.
I can put it in after we do the description on this post-production. Trish says, P.S. I said it with my chest, as you should.
Yes.
Own your sensuality and your sexuality. There is a freedom in that. Like when you can go into wherever you are being intimate with somebody and fully embody who you are, and you feel safe and you feel comfortable. That is great. I've said this last February when we were talking about sex and intimacy. When you arrive at that place of bliss, now I'm not saying go there all the time because it's intense, but when you arrive at that place of bliss, it's nothing like it. You know, of course, you need some aftercare and other things of that nature when you go to those levels, but it's beautiful. I just feel like it's too many people in the world having trash sex and settling for it. I don't understand.
You know what? I think it's because people don't know no better.
That is true.
If you don't know that you can have like mind-blowing like sex, you know, whatever, they don't know to question it or ask for more.
And that there are multiple types. You know, people think of, when they hear the word sex, they think penetration. And people that are a little bit more advanced may add oral in there as well. And then, you know, backdoor. You know, now we kind of going up a little bit in levels. But for the most part, those are like the three main ways people think about sex. And not that you can have, you know, reading erotic literature. Like, you want to build a sex life. And not necessarily just think about sex acts.
For all our new interns, we do have a session. I don't remember the title of it, but it was in last February's month, where we talked about the difference between living a sensual life or living a sexual life, as well as being pleasure centered in your sexual intimacy versus performance centered. So the difference in those two is when you have performance, the goal is to have the orgasm. And that is very much shortchanging yourself. You're not fully embodying the experience. When you have a sensual or a pleasure base, it's about what is rocking my world, what feels good, the way he touched my hand, the way he kissed my neck, the way he whatever. Like that.
Gaze into my eyes.
Don't look at me real hard.
The
Okay.
like that tantric stuff. Look, all that stuff existed for thousands of years.
Yes, there's a level of, especially here in the States or here in the United States of America, we are very detached from our spiritual side in sex, but other countries and other cultures are very connected to that. You know,
Yeah.
some people now call it like sex magic and all that other kind of stuff, but that level of intimacy has been around since the beginning of time, and we have just disconnected and almost cheapened it to just being the body.
Yeah.
You know, I want somebody who is making love to my entire being, and my entire being is not just this meat suit that I got currently. So,
And I think based on like what you just said about performance, now obviously there are sometimes where you just need to hit it and quit it and go
Of
on about your
course,
business.
That exists, and that is great too.
Exactly. However, for some people, some people have difficulties with libido or climaxing. So if you allow yourself to engage in the sensuality of lovemaking and all allowing your whole body, your whole mind to be involved, your body can relax. We're going to talk more about all of that in another session, but if you can allow your body to relax, and it will be mind-blowing.
yeah,
I think one of the things that we talk about a lot is like the crock pot versus the microwave,
Mhm.
or the crock pot or the oven versus the microwave.
yeah,
And you've got to understand the way that you start to become aroused. Some individuals are slow to warm, like a crock pot or an oven. You got to preheat that joint, let it do what it's going to do.
Little
And then
simmer.
once it get to, 400 degrees, you ready to go.
or 425 if you live in a black home.
Yes.
350, 425.
350, there's 350, 375.
or 425.
Or 425.
We skip 400 for
I
some
was gonna
reason.
say we skip 400.
Or your microwave, where it does not take you that long. You're very visual. It doesn't take much touch, and you're ready to go. You need to understand that about yourself. And if you are dealing with one or more other individuals, you know your audience. Is this person a oven/crock pot, but I'm a microwave, or vice versa? And we keep bumping heads because the way in which we become aroused is vastly different.
Yeah.
So I need to start speaking the language of the person that I'm dealing with.
Unless you just want to have sex by yourself. If you want to have solo sex, then you don't have to worry about any of that, because that is, for some people, their preferred method. They prefer just to be intimate with themselves. But if you are choosing to have partner sex, what are you doing if you're not in tune with the partner you're with? You know, I see this a lot in, especially my Black couples that come for sex therapy. They want to maybe get into the BDSM lifestyle, and they assume that the dominant one, and gender is not what I'm worried about in this situation, but the dominant one is the one that controls everything and does everything. But it really is the submissive one who dictates what goes on in a BDSM lifestyle. I have to give you permission to be able to do that. So, it's very important that you are aware of your power dynamic. It's very important that you understand what you're okay with, and that we just are really having sex blindly, without any consideration of like what I like, what I want, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
That's a good statement, Trish. People out here having solo sex, but with their partners.
And it's selfish. Let me look at all the cameras.
Okay. Are we okay with this individual asking questions?
Yeah, just ask the question. Don't, y'all, for everybody that's on TikTok, we're not inviting anybody to come on because we can't fully see everything because it's kind of far away. So if you do have a question and you are in the TRP TikToks, live on TikTok, just type your question in. Everybody else, y'all already know on the live in the other forums to type your questions and comments in.
So we did get a question from TikTok. And the question we got is any advice on finding a balance with your partner if you're a crock pot and they are a microwave?
So when you have a difference in the way that you become aroused or the desire takes place, you need to identify, number one, what it is that you like and are interested in. And then you need to begin to implement those things. You and your partner need to implement those things hours before it's going to happen. If you are a morning sex person, okay, start that the night before. Don't wait until you want to eat something, literally and figuratively. And it's just right then. If you are a microwave person, you know, a lot of times the microwave person ends up being stereotypically the man, just because of the way the anatomy kind of is, until later in life where there may be physical complications. But sir, go ahead and you be aroused all day. You know what I mean? You're not going to waste the erection. Okay. It's okay if it's there, but you know, tease each other, you know, implement things that you like. Yet be careful, because there are new rules that if you send pictures, you can be prosecuted, but communicate those sort of things.
Yes.
You know, how does the home look? I don't know about y'all, but my environment reflects how at ease I can be. If I have to come in and I have to be your maid, I'm not supposed to be your I had to get my words together. I'm not gonna be your lover.
It rhymes with behave.
So you have to it's not necessarily that y'all need to even up. It's that you need to, the partner who is the microwave needs to begin the stimulation, whatever form works for that partner. I personally am a sapiosexual. So I need you to talk to my mind. I need you to have communications with me. Everybody that's on TikTok that watch my little TikTok know I got a little person that's wooing me right now. So he been talking to me all day.
Hey, friend.
Yeah, don't be saying his name out loud.
We so happy though. We so happy though. Congratulations, friend.
But the importance of that is both of us would be ready. That's not the problem. But because I like my mind stimulated, he knows that about me. He knows that, okay, let me just send a random conversation. We be talking about random stuff. We've had conversation about the extent of the Marvel multiverse. And I'm like, don't you talk nerd to me? So it can be anything. So I would say tap into yourself first so that you can really identify what kind of gets you going, because that's what needs to be communicated first. And then y'all can kind of figure out the timeline.
And I think the person that's the slow burn, I think you're going to have to make sure you communicate that to the microwave. And so I think what'll have to happen is y'all meet in the middle. Sometimes you go ahead and do the microwave, but then sometimes they also involve, you know, make sure they do what Dr. Wall was saying, like do the slow
both
burn.
sides.
Both sides. So
because
that
you need a variety.
Yeah. And I would add, as a third layer, is if you are the slow burn person and you know this about yourself, it's okay to also start your own arousal process. So be getting yourself worked up as well, and thinking about a previous encounter that you guys had. We ordered these things and I really want to try these out. Start fantasizing and thinking about, because if you already know that your partner is very quick and they're good to go within a couple of minutes, then it's okay to work yourself up as well.
Yeah. Another thing just to add on to that is that if you know that is a struggle for you, it is okay to go ahead and have a solo sex session by yourself first. So the goal doesn't have to be I need to get to climax or to orgasm. It is that I get to play with my partner that I love.
That is true.
And then that way it's no pressure. It's no like forcing of anything. It's just like, yes, I want to do this. This is what we're gonna do. And that's what we do. So we do have an additional question from Thiesman on Facebook. It is part mental, part sex question. Why does great sex come from trash, toxic people? Because they're trying to steal your soul. They're
Okay?
soul snatchers. No, I'm joking. But
I would say they probably are the most observant.
they are. And they're also disconnected from social norms. So it's a catch-22. You probably are going to have really great intimacy because this person is don't care about breaking rules, but also your soul and your spirit is important. So sorry, y'all. I gotta pop the other bottle.
Because we drank, pull up, drank. Oh, hold on,
So
let me
for
finish
everybody that wants to know what we're drinking for the second, we are drinking the Stella Rosa Blueberry. And typically on our podcast, we do a sweeter beverage because this one over here can't. She can't. So we gotta accommodate. You see the compromise?
We gotta go gentle. Go gentle with it. Thank you, Doctor. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Go, 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 go.
Little ASMR.
I got a little gok gok 3000 going on over there.
Okay. As they pour up. So also something to consider when you're thinking about that communication is what are some things that you're interested in, like that you haven't tried. And if there are things, I first recommend, researching them from a credible source.
Google is not always your friend.
No,
Right.
it's not always your friend. They don't always know what they're talking about. Do not be going on Wikipedia finding information. There are great people such as, if you have a question for me, I'll definitely answer that question. If some of the people that I love to get information from is Jet Setting Jasmine. She's a great sex educator as well as into the kink and fetish lifestyle. You have Goody Howard. I think her ads are Ask Goody Howard. So there's several people. And if we need that information, I can definitely provide that later. But being able to get that education for the resources, from the resources is what's going to like push you to that next level you want to go to.
Absolutely. These minutes funny.
Yes.
Tara Wall, which is my mama, says, I want to experience that. And then Thiesman says, WebMD has wished death upon me multiple times. LOL. I understand.
Have you out here thinking you done got, I'm like, I got a flesh eating bacteria. And you be like, no, that's just dry skin.
It is.
Like,
it's winter. That's all.
Like,
Exactly. Sherry Miller on YouTube says a lot of people have trash sex because they are having sex because they have nothing else better to do. That is not satisfying. Like Dr. Wall said, you have to be connected with yourself and your partner. Yes, that is very true. Oftentimes you see a lot of folks having sex because they're bored, and that's how you get them bored babies.
These pandemic babies.
They on a whole level. I think they're
And
mutants.
And these iceberg babies.
What's that?
The ice apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of Scorpios in the building.
Hey, I'm a Valentine's conception, so
Again, all them Scorpios in the building.
Yeah. Girl, have mercy. Let me make sure I didn't miss it. Y'all have any questions on y'all's end?
I do
No,
not.
but TikTok just let us know that some of our comments were filtered to save the community's experience.
Oh,
So,
man, they should have let them come through.
I don't know what y'all was out here saying.
So TikTok, ask them again in a more appropriate way.
So if you notice that your comments are not popping up, try to ask it in a more TikTok appropriate manner because they do be flagging stuff. So just so you have a heads up.
Yeah. So I don't know what y'all out here saying, but
we do appreciate it though.
I mean, if you wanted to say that, off live, I would be definitely down to answer whatever that was in the way you asked it. But
Right.
if you want us to say it on live, we're gonna need you to rewrite that a little bit.
Lord. Trish said, not me tiptoeing over to the clock app. You can stay on the Facebook app. It's okay. The Bird app. No, that's not the Bird app. What is Facebook? It's just elderly.
It's
That's so sad.
So for the doctors, what have been some of the main things that you feel clients suffer with outside of the communication when it comes to intimacy?
disrespect.
Elaborate.
So I've had clients that feel like their partner disrespect them, they don't respect their opinions,
Mm.
all throughout the day, but then at night, they ready to
Busted wide open.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that just doesn't work.
No.
If you are feeling disrespected throughout the day, or you don't feel like you're valued, or you don't feel like your opinion matters, I'm not going to be an object.
No.
That's not what I'm going to do.
And
Not at
not,
all.
most people don't have a degradation kink. It's
Mm.
there, but you doing that in our regular life
Mhm.
is not really going to have the desired effect.
No. I would say along that same lines, like neglect. That whole idea of similar, like, you don't have to pay attention to me, or we're gonna just go do our own thing, throughout the day or
Mhm.
whatnot. And then the other one would be differing expectations. That's
Mm.
probably the second one that I have most often, is one partner expects or wants some sort of sexual contact this often,
Mhm.
and the other partner is like, well, I'm cool with once a week.
And,
And their partner's like, what you mean once a week? I want every day. What you talking
Right.
about?
and I think that goes along with something Bishop Jake said one time. He was saying how if men if men say we're going on vacation, they think we're going on vacation and we about to bust it wide open every night.
She think, oh, I'm about to go relax. I'm about to go.
Now, mind you, I don't want to give Bishop Jake's that name. He didn't say busted wide open. He said something else, but he said it more clean. But then he said that his wife was thinking, I'm about to relax. Like Dr. Strickland was saying, I'm about to relax. I'm about to sleep. I'm about to not be
on
bothered.
the beach and get me a nice little tan.
Exactly. And he was like, and then men get mad because it's like, what you mean you about to sleep? No, why?
I thought we was gonna be out here having fun.
Right.
And this is an idea. If the goal of the vacation is the sexual intimacy, then maybe the person who's doing the homekeeping shouldn't be worked to death to where they need it to be a break from keeping the home.
And he said a conversation needs to be had about expectation.
Yeah. And that's on both sides, because it's not just one gender that's doing that. That's really across the board in a lot of areas. Like, I have some couples that I have seen, and it's the woman talking about, now I'm about to get that. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't think he likes it when you say it that way. So, you got to meet your partner where they at.
Him just a little bit.
Yeah. Trish on Facebook says, I find that toxic masculinity has morphed, into pseudo-doms. Ha ha ha, laughs and brat. And I agree with that. And that's because people don't actually know what a dominant is. They don't actually know what a submissive is. I am a switch. So I'm somebody who plays on both sides of that. And when I am in my dominant bag, I'm paying attention to my submissive. I'm paying attention to his breath. I'm paying attention to the words that he is saying. We have our safe words and different things like that. There's not no I'm not paying attention to this person, because I am get your face together. I am supposed to take care of his every need. And if I am in that submissive role, that's what I expect. And if you don't understand that dynamic, you need to stop playing in the deep water when you can't swim.
Because a lot of people think that they're being a dom and you're just being a tyrant.
You're being abusive. That's what you're being. And you're going to mess around and get these hands.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, when you first start a relationship, regardless of whether or not that person is involved in BDSM lifestyle or not, you still have to take it slow.
Yes.
Because y'all haven't been involved in the same BDSM lifestyle together. So you have to take it slow. You have to get consent so that everybody is okay with this happening.
And people who are really in that particular lifestyle really do have some of the most meaningful sexual interactions, because you have to talk about so much. You can't just be like, I'm gonna whip you. First of all, we're not trying to trauma bond. We're
Mhm.
trying to have a
Right.
intimate, mutually agreeable
Long-lasting.
experience.
Yep.
A scene. You don't get to just do whatever you want to do
Mhm.
ever.
And just kind of keeping on, because I've talked with some of my couples before that have taken the quiz,
Mhm.
and vanilla has popped up.
Yeah.
Vanilla does not mean boring.
Oh,
Because I'm a vanilla.
Yes, vanilla does not mean boring. It just is base.
Mhm.
There is a base.
I have a lot of other
Yes,
stuff.
it is
not
a
basic,
not
base
basic
line.
Yes, vanilla is a base flavor that you build on top of.
Mhm.
That's all that that means, that there is a certain baseline that you have that can be built on top of. It does not mean boring or prudish
No.
Right.
or celibate. I mean,
Yeah.
or
and
any of those kinds of like I don't want to types of words.
Well, I think you also have to understand like why you are a vanilla. I grew up in the church. So when I took the test, I had just recently gotten married. So I wasn't used to having what I call legal sex.
Freedom.
Right.
Mm,
So I had to I've constantly talked to my husband like, okay, you got to give me a moment because I gotta get used to not repenting after.
oh, Lord.
You gotta
Like,
switch your mind.
yeah, I
That's
had
what
to
it
switch
is.
my mind. So I think I'm still a vanilla, but I think I've tied like Dr. Wall say I'm not, but I've had a tie for like 3 or 4 of them, I think. So I know it's me building, but it's still me getting used to having legal sex.
Yeah, it takes time
Yeah.
for that. We do have a comment from Thiesman on Facebook. Advice on finding a compatible kink partner who's willing to explore. Seems like a lot of people have their guard up for good reason, I guess. Apps, Facebook groups, etc. So I am not a sex therapist that really recommends a lot of groups or apps because there are predators everywhere.
Yeah.
And what we are seeing in the community is that that has gotten a lot worse due to the pandemic.
That's
And
horrible.
people's minds are just like, it's just going somewhere else.
Yeah.
So what I recommend is for people to be able to go to different conferences, like Sex Down South, which is in ATL. Go to different things like that, because then you're going to see the educators, you're going to see the people that are in those different lifestyles, and then they can become different connections for you versus just this random stray person over here. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, I know how to be a dom, and then you unalived.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's good information.
I normally recommend those, and there are several of those. Like I said, I can list those in the details post after this. There are apps, there are different things like that, but I don't want to put my license on none of that because I don't know them people like that. So I don't feel comfortable with that. But there are different what is called dungeons,
I was trying to say that.
which are rooms that people who are into a specific appetite can go to. You do not have to participate in anything like that. You can just literally go and watch and kind of get a lay of the land. You also can just do natural, normal dating and just make sure that when y'all get to the part of sexual intimacy, you discuss that you have some different likes. And you talk about what that means, and you discuss with them what they're comfortable with, what they have experienced before. It's really about the communication when it comes to finding the partner, because you could go and find your switch brat tamer, and it may not be the right match for you.
I was gonna say their style may not
Yeah.
be a match for you.
Yeah.
Even if their type is a match for
Yeah.
you.
So say I find someone who wants me to be a degrader as a dominant. I'm not talking to you crazy. The therapist in me is like, I wish I would. I wish I would. And it's not causing them trauma. It's just I'm not going to be able to enjoy that. So that's not a mutually beneficial exchange. Now, could I educate and teach people how to do that, yeah. But as far as my own intimacy, that's not going to be something that I would want to participate in. That's not going to do nothing for me.
Exactly.
And even if you meet someone and you tell them, what your likes are, and they say that, they don't have any kinks or whatever, it's not a reason for you to leave them alone, because sometimes you can introduce people to things. Ask them if they're open.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
just try to force it on them, but ask them if they're open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that they are actually like baby submissive or
Mm-hmm.
or baby doms, like people who like to
Mm-hmm.
be choked
Mm-hmm.
the correct way, people who like to be like have their hands pressed into the mattress, or like
or handcuffed
or handcuffed, like,
up,
or people who like to do those things that people like. That's the beginning of getting into that. You may not be fully into that lifestyle, but that doesn't mean that there's not an interest in there. That's why when we say like vanilla is just a base, like people are having vanilla sex with those things in there.
Yes.
So
yeah,
building
yeah.
building blocks.
Yeah. So sometimes you just have to remember that some people don't know what they like we were saying earlier.
mhm.
And until they're introduced, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is not as bad as I thought. And we did a series on 50 Shades of Grey. Now, granted, that's very mild, but still.
Yes, very mild,
you
very
know,
vanilla actually.
Yeah, but if you look at how he actually introduced her
Mhm.
into it, that's the part that I liked. Is
Yeah.
he did the introduction to it
Yeah.
very smooth, very on her pace.
Had a contract.
And
Yep.
everything.
Mhm.
One of the things I was going to add is that if you are introducing somebody to something, so let's say you are a little bit more into the kink community and the person that you're dealing with is not, and they're trying to get involved, if you don't like something, do not shame the other person for liking what they
No.
like. So if they're into knife play or suspension or all these other,
Come on,
more,
Shabari.
some more of the more extreme ends, and it's not your thing, don't put them down because they
No.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
No.
Because your stuff, you probably got something way back there that they just that
They just ain't
the
tapped
right
into
key
yet.
ain't been used yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we all got a little nasty in there.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in a good way.
Yeah.
We all got a little bit of something.
Exactly. What do y'all believe can be something that people need to do more of when they are trying to unlock their more expressive, freakier side of things? What's something y'all think of?
I would say be open.
Okay.
And I would say at least like if you try it, have a safe word. So if
Definitely.
you try it, then just, if it's not for you and y'all in the middle, be okay with using the safe word and saying, okay, this don't work.
Pineapples.
That's the most common.
It is.
So what I would say is, first, think of all the things that you've ever thought about trying. Like, it doesn't matter how minute or how extreme, anything and everything you've ever thought about trying, and then work your way down from there. Like, okay, so if you thought about something that's, I'm not going to get into the way more extreme stuff, but if you thought about something really extreme, you're like, oh, but I also don't like being hurt. Okay, so maybe you might want to come down a couple notches.
Yes.
Like, you may want to get spanked, but you don't want to get spanked real hard. Like, don't hit me real hard, and don't hit me with a whip. But I'm all right with the little other thing.
Little tap, the cat of nine tails, things like that.
Yeah.
Or if you're into breath restriction, you may not want to be into auto asphyxiation. You may not want to. You may not be that extreme.
Right.
But think about all the things that you could or would have ever wanted to try, and start slowly working your way down, and then get a good solid list of things that you feel comfortable attempting with somebody that you feel safe and comfortable with.
Yeah, I agree.
And just slowly introduce.
I agree.
The
with
key
that.
word there is a person that you feel safe with.
Safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Thiesman on Facebook says a date to the toy store is a perfect way to start the conversation, in my opinion. And I agree with
You
that.
will learn a lot about a person.
You will. You'll see what types of things that they may be fearful of or squeamish about. You'll also see things that they're interested in. And it doesn't even have to be verbal. You'll just see how the body responds.
What they pick up.
Look
what
me
they
over
look
here.
at.
Look at me over here telling my Dom things.
I would say what they look at,
Yeah.
what they linger at,
What they touch, if
Mhm.
touching is
what they keep
okay.
circling back to.
Yeah, I think that also kind of breaks the ice and allows there to be a different level of vulnerability, which leads to greater intimacy. We're in this together, you know, we're trying to figure it out. And that's how your mindset should be in any situation. It shouldn't be just like, oh, because I'm a novice. No, if you have been doing this thing since you started being intimate, you should still be this way, especially if you have new partners that come in.
Always learn.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you've been together 2 weeks or 20 years.
Mhm.
You are going to be changing just as an individual at each stage. If you choose to get married, if you've been together 10 years, your body's going to change, your needs change. And, you know, I think Dr. Jones Hines said this a little bit earlier, like you are going to evolve. So the way in which you and the person you're dealing with is going to have to evolve over time because things don't work the way they used to.
Exactly.
Or like, okay, well, I like that, you know, when I was young, but it's just not doing it for me no more.
Exactly.
You got to continuously be aware and observant of yourself so that you can start communicating and keep communicating those changes as they happen, you know, over the span of your relationship / relationships.
And I think Thiesman, multiple trips to the toy store is gonna probably be more beneficial because sometimes again is shamed. People are embarrassed to go into the toy stores. People are ashamed to go into and they're ashamed to look at anything in there. So you may have to go multiple times before they're even comfortable going in there before you can even have a conversation.
Yeah.
So Trish did tiptoe over to the clock app.
She's just bouncing.
She did bounce, but she has made a very awesome comment here. Set the intention before you start. Lead with communication and explore with caution.
Come on, brat.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's majorly important.
Yep.
Yeah, your intimacy should be such a fun experience, regardless of what emotion comes through, because it's okay to have a variety of emotions that you experience. There may be some trepidation, some fear, some worry, like all that's normal. Like emotions are temporal, they change all the time.
Yeah.
But like you should really enjoy the process of getting to learn your body and learn the other person. What I find oftentimes that hinders that is people want to be right. And they want to be correct. And it's just like, ain't no right and correct in this situation. It's all about consent and pleasure. That is, let me get my English together. That is it.
Be goofy.
Yes.
If you pass gas while y'all doing the do, okay. You know, that just means you got real flexible. That's all that is. I mean, you got real flexible and it's okay.
Yeah, you might fall off the bed. It's okay. Get back up or stay down there. Whatever.
There's been plenty of injuries from sex. Plenty.
Look, it is okay.
I know several people.
Take it serious, but don't take it so serious at the same time.
Yeah. I know several people that have slid in the tub. Like it's all kind of stuff that happens. And you got to be able to laugh at yourself. Now be careful. Don't just be careless with it. But, you know, it does not need to look a certain way. It just needs to be enjoyable for both or all parties.
And remember your age and remember your body.
So I have a question for hot, sexy, cool Sarah. When you say, do we take song requests? What do you mean? Can you clarify what you mean by that? Because maybe.
Yeah, if you're talking about for the mood music.
We do. If you got some music that you want us to check out.
Yeah, we don't typically, well, on the lives, As far as TikTok, there will be times where we do like just behind the scenes stuff where we're not live streaming, where we definitely will play music and stuff like that. But because we are doing this live stream with YouTube, we are not trying to get flagged and nothing taken down. So but go ahead and we'll let her respond while I get Thiesman's next comment. He says, poor shower curtain rod. There are specific products that you can utilize if you want to have shower sex.
Right.
I recommend you get those things. Do not use the apparatuses that came with your house or your apartment. There are specific things
that's
to
that's
go
gonna be
get.
an injury. That's gonna be an emergency room trip.
Yes. Sometimes y'all just need to get in the tub and sit down. Don't
Mhm.
be standing up unless you're just gonna be kissing, and even that be too much sometimes. So
Mhm.
if you
Water's a great conductor for
a lot of
things.
And women, please know the man that you got, and if he can't hold you, it's okay. It's okay, and that don't even mean that you a thick lady. It just you
Mhm.
gotta know the
Water
man.
is slippery.
Exactly. It's when you in that shower, that water you
and
ain't no
don't
string.
add stuff like bath bombs or
God.
shower bombs and
Oh.
all those things because
Yes.
Hey,
you know
Trish,
feet. We have human feet.
yeah.
We don't have 8 feet
right.
where we can grip things. You know, we
Right.
can't grip with our toes.
Right.
So
No, we can't. Trish on Facebook, she back on Facebook now, y'all. She said, "Mess around and die in the shower."
Yes. Yes.
this area of the head is real sensitive.
Bam.
Mm-hmm.
So
concussion.
one thing I did want us to get into is to talk about positions, because that's something that we really did not talk about
Yeah.
last year. I'm sorry. Oh Lord, Stevie on Facebook said, "Put some grip socks on in the shower, Stevie."
Like,
I mean,
can't
I
stand
don't like wet
socks.
clothes. I
neither.
can't stand wet clothes. So that'll be like an instant like ugh.
Uh-huh.
My eyes the whole time would just be looking at them socks.
I
like,
would be so turned off. I was like, this is touching me.
I mean, you can put some shower shoes on, I guess, but
I feel like the shower shoes are still gonna be slippery.
they might be. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh Lord. Trish on Facebook said, "Soggy and dead, nah." Oh Lord. But back to the positions, okay? So when you think of positions, what I want y'all to realize is that really you only have about 3 different positions, and then there are variations on those positions. So you have missionary, which is going to typically be the more intimate, more able to look into the eyes, that sort of thing.
What is this? What is this?
I mean,
Missionary.
missionary.
Goofball. Okay. Then you have where one partner will ride the other partner, which means like this. Okay. And then you have backwards facing individuals, because I don't want to say like just doggy style, because that could also be anal penetration or whatever. But you really have those 3, and then you have variations of that. If you're doing a wheelbarrow, that's technically doggy, but you own your hands and holding somebody's legs. Like it's the same. So you have to kind of know that. If you want to try adventurous things, that's okay. But just realize you don't have to send yourself to the ER to have a great experience.
Thiesman is giving you the business today.
He said, well, tell them somebody please join in and tell me what these really supposed to look like.
So for our TikTok people, Thiesman on Facebook said the ASL community is not happy with you right now.
I apologize to the ASL community. I am all open to being taught how to use my hands more appropriately.
In multiple ways. Okay, I'm sorry. Sex therapist joke. What are y'all's thoughts on the positions and just, either learning them or whatever?
I'm all for learning them.
All
You know, I
for
was all
learning.
in your books when I was
Look, if you've ever been inside Dr. Wall office
Or my house.
on her house.
the titles alone will be like, oh,
So you can't see
can I
children
get
at
on this
all.
real quick? Let me figure out what that is.
Yeah.
But so what I would say about positions, understand body composition,
Yes.
not size. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But if you are a long torso person with a short torso person, if you are somebody that's 6'3" and you're with somebody that's 5'1", like you need to understand like body composition and that some things are not
Yeah.
going to line up
Mhm.
just because of the way you're sized, not anything about, like I
Yeah.
said, not about weight or anything like
And
that.
stop struggling with that. Let that go and try something else that's meant for
Yeah.
y'all's bodies.
And understand when you're not flexible. Because
It's okay.
Because you know you can't break them legs trying to do stuff.
I mean, you can, but I don't recommend.
I don't recommend ER.
That
No.
deductible gonna get you.
Yes,
Yes, it will.
yes. But I do agree with Dr. Strickland. Like you have to remember body structure and just how things lift and don't lift, move and don't move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if you not into, calisthenics, you probably, and like again, understand your body. So,
Yeah.
you may not be able to be in the top position for a long time because your heart gonna be beating 1,000 miles
Mhm.
and it's gonna
Exactly.
be like, excuse me.
And everybody ain't got Meg the style you needs. For some of us who live through the cash money taking over for the 99 and the 2000, we don't want to do that no more. But I can pop my shoulders, but I ain't gonna be able to move these knees for a long period of time.
Well, for those of us who are dancers,
yes,
them
That
death
too.
drops did not help
Yes.
in these ages. Right
Yeah.
here.
It's okay to work with the body you got.
I cannot. Trish said, she on Facebook again, y'all. She said, Rafiki said, remember who you are. Jamelin or Danielle Harris Gillespie said, not trying to end up on sex sent me to the ER. No,
No.
we are not trying to do that
Mm-mm.
because it's too much.
We grown right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I will say for the individuals who are interested in like adventurous positions, I definitely recommend getting with a Kama Sutra
Melinda.
instructor because they have some of the most
Complex.
top tier level of positions. But also with that, I would definitely recommend becoming versed in tantric sex as well, because that is the spiritual and sex physical connection, because that goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Trish on Facebook says, I don't have knees like Megan, I got knees like Melinda, and she's been through some things. Okay.
I think all of us that are either in or creeping up onto our 40s are starting to realize that.
That's why.
Them knees.
That's why I said you can't be treating me like I'm
Look,
21.
these are things that your parents didn't tell you. Why you didn't tell me that all of a sudden the knees was gonna be like snap, crackle, pop?
J. Danielle says, more like knees like Mildred. I can't with y'all.
They just keep getting older and older.
I know.
Man, our interns out here acted up today.
Lord.
Do we have any other questions?
Retired 10 years ago.
Wow.
J. Danielle said, my Megan knees retired 10 years and 50 pounds ago.
Same.
Yes.
I concur.
Mhm.
Did she ever respond?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So she didn't respond on TikTok. We'll continue on. What are some other things that kind of come to y'all's mind when we talk about sex and intimacy and all of that?
It's a good question.
You trying to PG yourself?
I am. Other things that come to mind. Wow. So
Foreplay.
that's good.
We didn't talk about foreplay.
Okay.
Did you
Did
have
you
like
sex
did you,
therapist?
Okay.
I was like, did you have something in particular?
No, I want
Just in general?
Yeah.
Okay, so for people who don't know what foreplay is, it is play before the act. So the purpose of foreplay can be the connection, coming together. Maybe y'all have had like rough day and y'all need to like reconnect first before y'all get into the full act of sexual intimacy. All of it is sex, but maybe penetrative or digital stimulation or oral or whatever. So foreplay is going to be that reconnection. But foreplay also stimulates certain parts of the body. So the same way that you see a male get erect, those same sort of things are going on in a female body. So you have the lengthening of the vaginal canal, you have the lubrication of the vaginal canal. You for people, the lengthening is also important for people who have low cervix. You see that in just people in general, but you also see that in a lot of individuals who have had babies. Stuff done shifted because the big head baby messed it up. Okay. So you have to allow your body to adjust to what you are about to do. It also helps to be a stress reliever and to get you in the mood versus like, I'm just going into it. I see a lot of people be like, foreplay is unnecessary. Well, then you are in the category of a lazy lover. So you need to find a person who is an equally lazy lover and you go with that person.
Yeah.
It is completely okay. But if you have someone who likes the full dinner and not just appetizers, because that's what I call that. That's an
'Cause there's
appetizer.
Courses.
I want all my courses. I paid for it. Okay. So I think that is very important when we talk about foreplay. And also that allows you to put the playfulness into it and not just be like obligatory sex or just baby making sex or any other form of sex that's just like routine.
Yeah.
This allows you to put that intimacy, that fun, playfulness into it.
And again, it helps you discover.
Yeah.
It helps you discover what you like, what you don't like, where you want to be touched, how you want to be touched, how often you want to be touched there, when too much stimulation has occurred, because you can like a certain spot, but then there becomes a sensitivity point where it's met its threshold and it's like, okay, can we move on from this spot now and move on to somewhere else? So I think it helps you with discovering, that whole communication piece on how to continue to be satisfied.
Yeah. Mama Wall said, I would just like to have some. Okay. Thanks, Mom. Thiesman on Facebook says, yes. Off topic, have you all thought about a in front of a live studio audience type of show, sell tickets, etc.? We have. It is further down the line.
Can we make it happen, Kat?
Yes.
But we are working towards that and turning this into a full show and things of that nature. But things take time. We're just now. We've been doing this for almost 3 years this July, and we're just now really starting to get a bigger following.
And we've only been doing video consistently for
about
probably
a year.
about
A year?
just about a year.
Yeah. Thiesman also said, look, you better kiss me like your
I
life
love it.
depended on it.
Thiesman is giving it to the people today.
Yes, he is. I'm loving it, Thiesman. Thank you.
Yes. For me personally, kissing is my favorite part of foreplay. Like, I like the exchange of energy and that soul energy. Like I like that. And I'm a Scorpio. So we have a different level of eroticism than a lot of people.
Like Aries. Come on
Like
now.
Aries.
Hold on now.
But
Us fire signs be
Yeah.
out here.
Y'all do. But I got a lot of water in my chart. So it be moving.
But I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Same thing. That I find that to be like the thing, that leads to the thing or the next thing.
Yeah, because if you can't kiss me, don't touch me.
I love kissing my husband.
I can't stand her. Chocolate drops. Tara on Facebook said Pisces is the stuff. Come on, Pisces.
Aries gang gang.
Thiesman said Aries gang gang.
Yes.
Trish says fire in them fire signs. She is a Leo, so she is the leader.
Come on through, fire signs. Yes. Man, that just gave me so much life today. Come through, fire signs.
They owed it. They owed it. Hey, everybody drop your sign in the chats.
Okay. Aries gang. We coming up. We not quite, we about to be up there though. As soon as they get through what is it? Pisces, no, Aquarius.
Aquarius.
We just gotta get through them Aquariuses and then we
Aquarius, Pisces, Aries.
yes, then we good.
We got some comments on there.
Somebody named Champ PB
That's David.
said I'm just here for the big little sister.
You talking about me?
And we got a Libra in the building.
Hey, Scales.
Well, we got a Gemini on YouTube.
Okay.
Miss Cynthia
Sherry Miller on YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah.
On TikTok, Miss Cynthia Libra.
Okay, Scales. Well, y'all coming in. Like,
Nothing wrong with Aquarius,
Ain't
Stevie.
nothing wrong
My
with
older
Aquarius.
brother
No,
is an
Y'all
Aquarius.
just but
they
we
talking
ready
about the chart, like waiting on their season to
y'all
come.
just before us, so we ready to get to our sign already.
Hey, Jennifer, I'm a Cancer too.
Whoop whoop water. Hey, hey. Yes, I'm here for it. All the waters.
Mhm. All of that. No, we didn't get no more. Just,
Okay.
just
Okay.
the
I
one
want to
Libra.
make sure I didn't leave nobody out. And anybody that's on, Dr.
Oh, we got a
JH.
Taurus.
And,
Okay, Taurus.
Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's David. Okay. I was like, I know.
Oh, we got a Capricorn on Miss Dolores Freeman. We got a
Hey,
Capricorn.
Auntie D.
Look, see now that's what I'm surrounded by.
Yeah.
Caps.
Caps. I got 3 of them.
My cousin is a Capricorn.
My father is one.
Mm-hmm. It's now what I will say. My family has a lot of Scorpios, so you can tell what my family be doing.
Valentine's Day is very
Popular.
popular.
Mhm. Come
In
on,
the Wall
Candace.
house.
And Candace is a Cap too.
Mhm.
Trish on Facebook says, since I know that Dr. W is an astrology fan, how would you describe the signs sexually? Now y'all know I ain't got my book here. It's at the crib. But I don't want to give a blanket statement because anybody that's into signs, you know that it's not just about your sun sign. It's you need to take a collective look at a variety of different things and as far as how that shows up. But there is a book called Sex Signs that kind of goes into detail about how your sun sign shows up. But it's at the crib, y'all. Stevie Hicks on Facebook said, Alexa, play Tyrese Signs of Love Making. These are the signs of love making.
Hey.
Are you that zodiac freak I've been waiting for?
Hey. Hey.
Yes. Now what I will say about that video, it scared me a little bit because it triggered me and it made me feel like I was back in Freddy Krueger movie when he under the blanket. I said, "Oh wait, okay."
The covers and the sheets and all. What's going on?
Tell me you grew up in the 80s without
Right.
telling me you grew
Look,
up in the
they
80s.
don't have videos like they used to.
Oh God,
No, they don't.
Y'all remember watching Uncut?
no. Mm-hmm.
See us late Gen Xers and early millennials
Zennials.
or Zennials. Y'all remember watching I Ain't Got No
You know the song.
Yep.
And y'all don't charge nothing to me.
Mm.
But the song that always lives rent free in my head when I think of Uncut is White Girls. Won't go. And it was
I was gonna say I agree.
it was
David
David, yeah.
Temp Drill. That was the
Yes.
next one I was gonna
That
say, 'cause
was-
it must
that
be.
was
It
soft.
ain't your face.
Trish on the floor dancing.
Yes. It was too much. I was it was a lot, y'all. And we wasn't thinking nothing
I'd
of
be in
it.
my room with the TV on like volume 2 right there. Cause
My
couldn't
mama
hear
knew.
nothing. Right here, right on the
Uh-huh.
TV, like what is it? Oh, okay. And then every little sound when the AC come on in the house, let me just scared.
Did y'all have the boxes where you could flip back and forth?
Yes.
We aging ourselves. We sorry.
It's all right.
Oh.
Everybody in here know.
If we got any
This
young
is
folks,
uncut.
Yeah.
This is
different.
uncut right now.
Look,
Oh,
couldn't
yes.
tell me nothing. I just knew
But
I
you-
was grown.
But y'all know we were exposed to a lot of sensuality and sexuality and thought nothing of it.
No.
Mm-mm.
Because when I go back and listen to all the songs,
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my
yes.
God.
I'd be like, how was my mom and daddy let me listen to
Because
this?
it wasn't that big of a deal. Trish on Facebook says, how about waking up to uncut or worse, waking up to a screaming preacher? The preacher was worse because they would be like, the tabernacle on the rock. And I'm like, sir, I don't know if you believe in the same God I believe in.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes,
Trish-
BET at night was very traumatic if you fell asleep to it. You was like,
time.
I'm just trying to watch the movie, the Medea movie that came on nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's
I was just trying to finish watching Midnight Love.
Girl, I
ooh,
was just like,
girl.
Midnight Love.
And
they said, okay,
if
that's
I
Yeah, that's
it
ever
right there.
fall,
Yes. Janet Jackson, Let's Stay a While was
Let's
number one
Stay
for
a
the
While.
longest
It
time.
was.
yes, I'm here for it. Why BT do us like that, y'all? Why they do us?
I don't know.
And those videos was so low production. I love it.
Thiesman on Facebook says, get the prayer cloth right now.
See, that's why folk right now ain't comfortable having sexy time because we got to get the prayer cloth on everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, those were the good old days.
Yep.
Yes. Y'all let us know if y'all have any other questions. If not, we will be ending pretty soon because we don't want to keep you too long on the disc broads.
And we got to get up early tomorrow.
We sure do. We got clients to see.
because we do work. Still.
Yeah.
So,
We had a full day today.
and tomorrow.
The prayer handkerchief.
Anything y'all want to leave
Huh.
them with?
David said BT trained me to be a Kappa.
Uh-oh.
Look, so y'all know y'all get real funny when people try to do the little shoulder thing. So I'm not gonna do it.
The shimmy.
Yeah, the shimmy. So I would do it, but y'all get real funny about that.
We don't want to be disrespectful to your peoples.
Yeah, we don't want the Kappas in our comments coming after us talking about, you ain't no Kappa.
No,
but y'all do be looking smooth with it though.
Y'all do.
Y'all do. But that is what David said. That is the way that we learned is by watching. Okay, well, she did it like this. I'm a okay,
He said,
wait a
"Let me see
minute.
your shoulder." Hey,
Mhm.
y'all be like,
See, she acting up. Y'all get her together.
Mhm. We just gonna let her do it.
I'm not getting in trouble by anybody.
look,
No.
he told me, I'm gonna say, no, one of y'all brothers said, let me see your shoulders.
I don't think I have any more on my end.
I don't see any on YouTube.
Okay. So, like we always like to do, we like to let everybody know what we have coming up in the month. Typically, Disbrad, DISBRAD, is at the end of the month. But because we were coming back from our vacation, our hiatus, we wanted to make sure we started you guys off with a live. But what we will be talking about this month, if you have not guessed it, is sexuality, sensuality, vaginal health, just different things like that. We will be talking about the Jezebel trope not next week, this week, because we already in the week.
Mhm.
And then Dr. Strickland, you want to let us know what our movie is?
She's gotta have it.
So yes, we always pick a movie that relates to the information that we are giving you guys for that month. So it will be a Spike Lee joint. We definitely dress up for that one. We try to be themed. It will not be live, so don't come at us about y'all wanting it to be live. It's not gonna be live this time.
Yeah, we do. We like doing the live movies, but
They take
a lot more
Yeah.
prep to do a live for the movies than pre-recorded.
Yes. And then we have some good things coming up for this year. We are excited about where the podcast is going and the different opportunities that we have coming up. Also remember that we will be announcing who has won through our social medias, and we have a inclination on who might win already.
Gave it to the people today.
Mhm.
You was Twitter fingers today.
Yeah. So y'all,
We love it,
whoever
though.
this person is, y'all gonna have to step y'all game up because this person come correct every live.
Oh, we got an announcement on TikTok.
Okay.
Somebody retired from the army today.
Oh,
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
That's David.
Oh,
Congrats.
thank you for your service.
Now make sure you go
Yes.
get that 100% now, okay?
Yes.
He got it.
Okay.
He
Good.
good. He good. Okay. Anything
All right,
else, people?
nothing
I
else.
think that's it.
Thank y'all
Thank
so
y'all for
much for coming and
Mhm.
joining. Now I can go dry my armpits off because I'm sweating like I'm out here today. Because I was nervous.
We were.
Thank
We were.
y'all for joining us on TikTok. You know, this is our
Yes.
first live on TikTok, so thank y'all
Yes,
so
and
much.
y'all will still be with us after I disconnect the stream.
Y'all
in a
gonna
minute.
see all the like last little bits of us trying to get because we got to walk over there too, y'all.
Yes.
Turn you off. So.
Yes.
Okay.
But thank y'all. Bye,
Oh,
guys.
for those, I'm sorry. For those
Sorry.
in TikTok, we do typically ask for if y'all have any topics that y'all want us to talk about. If you still have questions for us, you can always comment and let us know those things.
Yes.
Yes. So, Dr. Strickland, you got words to say for the end of the session?
I do. And we always end off with a quote.
Today's quote is brought to you by Maya Yamanouchi. Don't let lack of sexual communication get in the way of your pleasure for any longer. Excuse me. Dare to ask the questions that will make sex so much more enjoyable, boost passion, and facilitate a deeper connection and intimacy.